My name is Brian Crystalline Rojas, straight out of Trigger City, Tampa, Florida, hired by Hernan Roldan. And we are so fired up with our Alliance Couture, our Alliance gear.
Our swag.
Our swag, baby. And we are so fired up for this experience. First time trip, 2 years in the business. We missed Hawaii. Hernan called me through FaceTime and he said, you cannot miss Paris, baby. So we started putting in some appointments. We started putting in the activity. We started putting in the work. There were time of doubts. There were time of not knowing if we were gonna make it, but we made it through, baby. And the experience has been far to none. Favorite thing, man, we went out with Tim Goat to the Eiffel Tower, walking, and just seeing the Eiffel Tower lighting up, you know, taking some pictures with my wife was just amazing. We had a chance to eat crepes, crepes with the Goat Ministry.
We even sing crape.
Crape. We call them crepes. But just hanging around with people, building relationships, sightseeing, you know, the Eiffel Tower. Who gets to see the Eiffel Tower in person, you know?
The Mona Lisa, even though we were like 200 people behind the Mona Lisa, it was still an awesome experience just to be able to take that selfie and say we were there.
Guys, the experience has been amazing, but the fact that the average person from where I'm from does not get to do this, where nobody just comes to Paris, and if you do, who comes to Paris with 200 of their best friends? And on top of that, who comes to Paris to the Westin, guys, to the Westin? It's unheard of, you know, and we are so blessed, we are so humbled to be a part of a small thread of people that go against the grain, that go against the currents, you know, that want to make a difference, that want to fight a war against poverty and are doing it. And we get to be elevated with these people. So I am just so grateful that we were able to be here with these leaders today.
I know the closest my family has ever gotten to coming to Paris has been Las Vegas, that fake Eiffel Tower. And so I can actually say that I've been here to Europe. None of my immediate family has been to Europe. So this is just amazing. This is a game changer. Because we know for a fact that our family, when we have one, our children are going to experience this, our children's children. I mean, this is just like, we're breaking generational curses.
Come on, baby.
Everybody can do it. If we can do it, and we are far, 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 far from perfect, anybody can do it. You just got to have that WANTTO, that want to.
That want to.
And if y'all want to do this, y'all can do it. We believe in you.
Hey y'all, we are Marcus and Carly Richardson, hired by Andy Albright, been around for a while, but this is one of my favorite trips. We are in Paris, getting to experience all the sights, taste all the food, and get to experience the Paris feel. A couple days ago, we went to see the catacombs. That's all the skulls and walking through, seeing all the dead folks. I didn't know what we were getting into. My wife said we're going to see the catacombs. I said, cool, get down there, see some skulls. A little freaky, but I enjoyed it. Everything's been awesome. We also went to the Louvre Museum. The Louvre Museum is one of those things where you gotta go several times to see everything. We didn't even get through a quarter of it, but that was incredible to see everything at the Louvre Museum. The next part of this is getting to Alaska. So getting here was not simple. It's easy, but not simple, meaning we put in the work, made the calls, got hung up on, got told no. It's what we do though. I don't mind getting told no for experiences like this because this is a once in a lifetime experience. It'll change your life, change your world. We want you to come to Alaska with us. 115,000. But if you're a go-getter and an overachiever, we want to see you in Seattle, 200,000. We're looking forward to seeing you guys with us. Come with us, y'all. We're the Alliance family. We'll see you in Alaska.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned in to the Activity Call Live. Your source for news and information with the Alliance. Now, let's hear from our President and CEO, Andy Albright.
What's up, Hutch?
Hey, buddy.
Hutch, somebody told me, they said Hutch will be on there for a while, but he's got to try on another clown suit. He didn't like the other one fitted him, so he's only going to be on here a little bit.
Yeah, it's something like that.
One of my staff asked me, said, what do you think about all these people pie in the face, slime bucket, dressing up like a clown? I said, you got to be careful. Some of these people, they act like it don't offend them and they're not sensitive, but they are sensitive. You got to be careful with that.
Fortunately, it didn't deviate from my normal wardrobe collection, so we're all right.
And your hair looked better.
It really did. It really did.
Hey, we got this new product out. It's one of the largest companies in the world. No kidding. CVS. It's large. I don't know what rank it is in the world, but it's multi-billion. We're really, really close with the CEO and president of that company. And he said, if y'all can do more of this final expense, we're going to come out with more product. And if you'll notice, it's the highest paid compensation on the 100% grid. Not that I'm big on getting paid, but I noticed a lot of our salespeople are big on getting paid. So I was trying to come up with excuses of why to write the one that gets paid the most. Does it make sense, Emily? I need to continue my conversation with you, Emily. I'm big on the moral high horse, but I want to make sure I'm big on a moral high horse that I can justify. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Davies has a more creative way of saying it. I'm going to let him say it in a minute. I will fix it so that the position of the highest moral high horse conforms to my highest desire. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of.
A little bit, yeah.
I know you're really smart. Like people say, well, I'm going to write the best product for the client. I said, me too. I am. But I got to figure out how to, the best product for the client is the product that I want to write. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I got to make sure my stool that I'm riding on, my horse that I'm riding on is fed the kind of grain I want him fed. You might have heard a country song. Liquor for my men and beer for my horses. You got to get the horse fed. You like that? You like that, Hutch?
Oh yeah.
You got to get them fed. So feed them. I want you to feed them why see it's the highest paid, Emily. Feed them why you like CVS so much, Mark. Give them some of that moral high horse good stuff.
Man, like you already said, it's it's one of the biggest recognized names in the world. Most people have heard of Mutual of Omaha. That's usually not one people have to, think about. But when you go in and you talk about CVS and you say, hey, this insurance company is part of CVS Health, a lot of people get their prescriptions there. If they don't, they get it at the competitors, Walmart or Walgreens, other drugstores like that, but they know who CVS is. And that's one of the things I appreciate, Andy, that you and Jim and Gina and others have been instrumental in, is getting us partnered up with these top A-rated companies so that we don't have to try and sit there and sell them who, Pioneer Security.
I want to tell you this. This is an integrity deal. I bought you some great carriers. This is an integrity deal. I just want to let you know. This is integrity. This is big time, Bo. This is the world, Frank. So I just want to tell you, me and Jim and Gina, we're badass. But okay, keep going. Keep going with
Cool.
With your moral high horse. Go ahead.
So they know who this, they know of CVS. You don't have to sit there and try and explain, well, this company's only been around 22 years, but they've got a good rating. You don't have to deal with that bull crap. You can get right to what we need to do, which is making a difference and making money. You already said they pay the highest commission of all the products that we have for final expense business. They pay the highest commission. They've got the very most competitive rates out there across the board with all our other carriers. They've got
competitive rates. Competitive rates. See, competitive rates. That's a good one, Eric Terry. Emily. See, it's got a great price. See, through the justification, it's name brand. People recognize it. They're more comfortable. Great rate. What else?
They've got some pretty doggone liberal underwriting.
We all like a liberal underwriter. We might not like a liberal umpire, but we damn sure like a liberal underwriter, don't we?
I'm okay with liberal in this case. They've got some very liberal underwriting. For instance, cancer that is just over 2 years, as long as it's not duplicate cancer or multiple cancers, you can get, essentially preferred rate. Most
I heard
companies,
even if you're on maintenance drugs.
Yeah, certain maintenance cancer meds that they realize, hey, this is usually something people stay on after a bout with cancer. We'll still go ahead and issue it. Some companies are like, nah, you got to be off those medicines for a couple years or more. So cancer's a big one. Used to about a year ago.
See, technically, it don't make sense. If you're off the maintenance drugs, they will give you life insurance when you're probably going to die because you're probably supposed to be on maintenance drug. It's brilliant. They're on maintenance drugs. That's like saying, I'm not going to give you underwriting because you're exercising. You must be fat. No, I'm exercising to keep from getting fat. And so then they're on maintenance drug to keep the cancer from coming back. Jeez Louise, CVS is brilliant.
Very brilliant.
Tell me more.
It used to be that, Transamerica was the only company that would still give potential first aid coverage with major lung condition like COPD. Foresters has now joined that, but now CVS, they say the same thing. Hey, as long as they're not on oxygen for COPD, then they're okay. So COPD is allowed for first day coverage, which is a big deal because, as you know, most companies offer graded plans for that. So that's a big one. And then probably one of my favorites is we can cover people that are very large. Um, I think one of the pandemics in the U.S. today is just the obesity that we have, and it's not uncommon to sit with very, very, very large people for whatever reason, and have a hard time getting them covered.
Because we got the best food in the world in America. That's why. Fried chicken, peanut butter and crackers, chitlins.
Right. Ain't knocking it. Ain't knocking it.
We got good food, good cooks in America. And they're not that fat. It's just the height. If it's a little bit taller, it'd be fine.
There you go. Some cases, a lot a bit taller. But yeah, you're right. So no height and weight, no height and weight guidelines. One of the things I say on the phone when I'm booking appointments, if somebody gives me the old, why you got to come out here? Why do you got to see me? I just casually say, hey, they just make sure, that, I just got to make sure you are who you are and that you're not like 800 pounds sucking on oxygen, when you say you're perfectly healthy. And they kind of laugh it off, but then some of them you go to and they're pushing, 5-6 bills. And where it used to be, man, I got to go graded with that. Now it's like, hey, I got an option, as long as they're not on oxygen, obviously, but I got an option for them. So just having that in the repertoire of product, I love the fact that we literally have the best options in America to help no matter who we sit with, no matter what their age is, no matter what their height and weight is. We legit have the best options to help them. So that's another big factor in why I do use CVS a lot. Where I'm at here in the deep South, I sit with a lot of people that, have that steady diet of, fried chicken and collards and mac and cheese and, sweet potato crunch and all that good stuff. And the problem is, their diet is breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all that. So, we got options to help them make sure they got the best available. And you ain't even got to ask that personal question for some of them, because Andy, you know how it is, the couple times you went out and sold insurance, you sitting with somebody that's kind of large and you got to ask them their height and weight, and they ain't no easy way to do that. So here you ain't even got to ask that question when you're writing CVS.
You sold on it yet, Emily? That's the best thing for the client.
I love it. It issues fast. You get immediate decision. Clients love it, and it pays fast. They get to choose their date, put in the banking information. You can push the draft date if they need it to, and money comes in quick too.
You see what I'm saying though about the more high horse?
Yes.
Yeah, she brings up a good point there. The fact that you can get an instant decision in most cases, if you're thorough with your underwriting, like you should be anyway, in most cases, you're getting instant approval. So, before you leave the client's home that they've already got coverage, they've already been approved.
Y'all get these right here. Would you send some money? It's my cousin. I know you got some money, got a burial. They couldn't afford life insurance. Y'all get those.
Yep.
I just like, guys, come on, man. It's pennies. Like, I feel sorry for him. I barely know this guy, and he wants me to give money for his cousin, who's like a really close cousin. Y'all get those. I got that at $9.55, and then he sent me the follow-up. His father couldn't afford health care or life insurance. I bet I don't even know how much it costs. Anyway, I'll get them. Here's my point. It's not about people. It's about you. Are you telling everybody about the opportunity to make money with us? Not just product. Are you scared to send a Facebook message or a text to somebody bold with a link? Maybe this link right here, the link offer. By the way, Rapid Funnel makes it so easy. Go on there, hit resources, hit opportunity, send them a thing. It says, there's a 1 minute. I'll show you here, this 1 minute video. Look at that. Are you too shy to send it and tell them there's a way to make money? Because I know people that ain't too shy to call and ask for $100 to help bury kids from a cousin of a nephew's brother's sister. Does it make sense? Like, if they're willing to ask for that, I'm going to send this opportunity his way and say, hey, bro, if you had my kind of money, you could give them 10,000. And you know them. I don't know them. I'm going to tell you, I don't know this. It's hard for me to get tore up by somebody I don't know. Happens to my wife, my daughter, my cousin, my friend Emily, but somebody I don't even know. I don't know him. How they say it, Castilla? I don't know you. Wait. Yes, what you said is right. What did they say? How's it go? I can't hear your audio. You don't know you like that. I don't know you like that. I don't know you like that. No, I don't know you like that. I don't know you like that. I think I'm gonna send you a video.
You ain't one of mine. You are not one of mine. That's what I tell him. You ain't one of mine.
Can't be one of mine. Can't be.
Nah.
I don't need to hang around you. I can tell. We're gonna have a good time on the next trip. I'm gonna seek you out. You don't know me like that.
Nah.
I don't know you like
That's
that.
what I tell him. Nope. I did a community event and I got over 40 leads when I said, GoFundMe is not insurance. I don't want to give money to my children. Do you think I'm going to give money to a stranger? Make better life choices.
Make better life choices. Oh, Emily, you got to go off. You got to go off on rants like this when you're talking to your client. You're not talking about them. You're talking about them. GoFundMe ain't no insurance. You got to go off on it like that before you ask for the check. You see what I'm saying, Emily? You got to try it. Be like, hey, you know these people, you ever get texts like this? Want to GoFundMe? That ain't insurance. What's wrong with these people? You don't know me like that. They don't know me like that. And then talk to them about coverage. True that, Castile?
100%.
You got to just go on for a rant.
It's less than a drive-through meal. And we all can skip that line.
It's less than a drive-through meal. Oh, by the way, going off on a rant like that, I call that work. I went off on a little rant like that with Mark Hutchinson. You can tell I was working, couldn't you, Mark? I was working.
Absolutely.
Tell him what make a lazy umpire look like a crook, won't it?
Oh, yeah. They think they've been in the league for a while or been calling games for a while, so they think they know what's best. It don't matter how good you are, how long you've been doing it, you still got to bust your you-know-what to get in position. You know, we had a guy in rec league ball when I first started. His name was Tim Hayes, and they called him half-court Hayes because he'd make it to the half-court line and he wouldn't move no further, and he'd make calls 40 feet away. Half-court Hayes.
He's just lazy.
Yep.
Half-court Hayes. That's a new line. We're going to have to use this. We're going to have adopted half-court Hayes. That's the guy that gets into the house, Emily, and won't go off on a rant. It's called lack of hustle. Ranting is hustling. That's why when I get in the car, I see them tattoos on the knuckles of my driver, my Uber driver. I go, you look like a hustler to me. Because I know they will rant. Anybody putting tattoos on the knuckles, they're going to rant. I'm just going to tell you. You just got to remember to rant at the right opportunity. You with me? True that. Everybody with knuckle tats, give me the fist bump. I know you know it. I know you know it's true. Straight up, what do you call it? Concentrated coffee right there, baby. All right. Davies, how do I better say, I try to figure out ways to do the right thing based on what I want to do. You know what I mean? The more how people always got, well, I just want to do what's right for the customer.
It's about the greater good. And that's where CVS helps us accomplish the greater good. The greater good means we cover more people. We cover more people because agents aren't trying to follow up on policies that got declined and extra underwriting. The greater good's accomplished because agents don't have to remember height and weight chart. The greater good's accomplished because we got more money in more agents' pockets to get to more people's homes. We can't do that with other carriers. The greater good, and that's what it's about. So if you really care about people, you care about the greater good. We get to more people with CVS.
What I was trying to say right there. That's exactly what I meant to say. The greater good concept. What's up, Mimi?
Hi, Andy.
How's California doing? They still hanging on to the edge of Oklahoma and Nevada and whatever they hang on to?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They ain't sunk yet, right? It's still
No,
up.
no. It's not gonna go there.
You don't think so?
I'm here, so they can't go there.
Okay.
Yep.
See the movies all the time where the right on the fault line makes me nervous.
It's just the movies. It's not gonna happen. I hope.
Whatever, just the movies. All right, girl. Hey, let's look at the leaderboard. Stephen Handy, put them up. Let me show y'all what the world's going on about these people kicking Bart and taking names. Issue paid. Mr. NP. Look what MP done. MP done come in there with 5 apps for 38,000 issue paid. Good God. You know what we have to do with that guy? I'm just going to tell you, David. He's direct to us, me, Chris Hill. Woo! He's a lot of work. I don't know if he's on this call or not, but I'm going to have to call him back. He wants to talk about this IUL program where they've changed it. I think it's a great program because they've made the corridor bigger, but he feels like insurance agents are getting a short end of the straw. I'm going to have to work, which means I'm going to have to call him up and talk to him, Mimi. I'm going to have to go off on a rant about the greater good. And I'm going to have to suggest that he buy IUL like I do and take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be work. NP #1 in the United States of America with $38,938 issued in one dadgum week. He's a lot of work, though. We're trying to get some debt, trying to get some people underneath him. Clay, we got it. Hey, Brandon, my son-in-law, get his name changed to Clay Smitherman or somebody else staff. His name's Clay. I don't want Clay coming there with issuing some big annuity and not getting recognition as William. No one know who he is. Smitherman, Clay Smitherman. Danny Johnson, DJ. My buddy Danny. Me and Danny go back 29 years. #3. Took me 13 years to recruit this boy. 13 years. Now he's one of the top salespeople, top recruiters, best friends in the world. Here he go with 21,000 issue paid in a week. He shot me a copy of his paycheck. Look how much I made this week. Look how much I made. Danny, I love you. Sue Love. I love this new name coming up. Brandon Manley done found him a new one in depth. She's getting stuff issue paid. 20,000 in one dadgum week. Greg Rawl. I call him Grawl because I had a manager in textile mill. His name was Greg Rao. We called him Growl. That's what we're going to start calling Growl. This guy, Greg Rawl, knocked out 19,000. Greg Rawl is also the one that told me, he said, I want everybody in this company above average. I was like, sir, mathematically, that's going to be a challenge. He said, I don't want to hear no back talk. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will go get everybody above average. He was upper echelon management, Emily. I thought to myself, I've got a shot in this world. If this is what the upper management thinks, everybody's got to be up above average. Mathematically. Anyway. Okay. Hey, how about this? My boy Mark Bisco back in the house. Y'all remember Mark Bisco? Back in the house, writing business every single week. Let me tell you how we got him back. We called him up and talked to him a little bit, stayed in touch with him, kept being friends to him, nicest people in the world. And here we go. It's called work, baby. I know that's a 4-letter word, and I so have some of y'all on your high and mighty high horse. You got your higher moral ground, but I'm going for the greater good. I'm going to use a 4-letter word with a W. Work. Swanti Gupta done come in here, knock some big business out. 15 grand. That's probably another big annuity. Lou Abadi done come in here with 15,000, 2 big cases. Megan Wood, look at that number. 41 applications. That girl is using the 4-letter word every day, every minute of the week. Work. She goes on rant, by the way, Emily. That's one of her secrets. She'd be in the house. She'd go off on a rant. Guess what happened to my daddy? I said, has your daddy had every disease in the book? She said, almost. You have got to have made up some of those. She said, I ain't saying I made them up, but I can't remember what all he had and didn't have. I said, you are something else. She says, I try my best to remember everything he's happened to him, talk about it in the house. Look at her, 41 applications. 41 applications in 1 week, issue paid, not submitted, issue paid. Eric Belair working his butt off. Eric's determined to be #1 in the United States of America. And here, Megan Wood done 41 issue paid. At least he got 17 in a week. Mr. Epstein done rolled in here with a big annuity. Henry Gonzalez then got him 3 apps. Mr. Tom Murphy then got him 3. Janina got 21. Way to go, Janina. Big week, buddy. Rob Scherter. All right, scroll it down. It's annuity. There's that big annuity by Clay and NP. Mark Bisco got a big annuity. Lou Body, Epstein, Rob, Belair, Annette Hare. Way to go, Annette. 50,000. I remember working with Annette 4 years ago, riding down the road. I was working. I said, you remember that time you was riding down the road? She said, I remember. I said, that was a hard talk right there. We're doing some work. Takes work, people. Hey, Mr. Vinny done got one, Richard. I want to tell y'all about work. Adam Beth Katz, Brent Swindell, and Michael Jones. Scroll down. Let me see what else I'm missing. Activity call numbers. Megan, look at Megan submit. Look at Tim Sipes submit. He's work. He's a lot of work. Tim, you're a lot of work if you don't know that. Belair, Jeremico, Brian Rojas. I was out fishing this week with Rojas. Me and him went out there and caught us. We caught a king mackerel. Davies, probably about 3.5 foot long, by that big around. I mean, it's nice. You know what I mean? They said, was big Davies that big? I was like, Davies would have swam by that and said, that ain't even a snack. Davies, we got a citation when Davies caught.
On my wall back there.
Citation. You said, did you break the law? Apparently, in the game world, citation's a good thing. He got, what was it, #2 in the United States or #2 in North Carolina?
The way I remembered it was #1 in the history of the universe.
I like the way you remember stuff. That's very selective and brilliant, of you. It's Rojas knocked out 15,000 issue paid. Get this, Davies. I caught a snapper about like this, but here's the way it went down. I'm reeling him in, and he's hard. All of a sudden, he gets impossible. So the guy starts pulling my line, and I'm winding it. All of a sudden, it gets loose, and I bring him in. So we bring him in. Half of his scales are gone. I said, what went on? He said he got swallowed by a gag grouper. There's some odd political words that they sometimes use on a fishing boat. But as a gag grouper swallowed the dadgum snapper. Snapper was about, I'd say, 4 or 5 pounds, swallowed him, and I pulled him out of his throat. But it scaled him. And that's what the guy, I said, oh my God. And then that's pretty cool, huh?
That's a bad day right there. You get hooked and then you get eaten.
How'd you get hooked, eaten, pulled out, and sliced in half, all in one day? Hooked, swallowed, pulled out through the jaws, and then cut in half, and then made into ceviche.
That's some perspective right there.
Couple of no-shows aren't a big deal now.
We don't do recruiter. Do we do recruiting on here? Go down to these recruiters. Let's see who's recruiting. Riddle continues to put in 5 in a week. Leventovich is 5 in a week. Mathis 5 in a week. Steve Memoritas? What the heck? Steve Memoritas. Y'all know how I remember his name? I think of Steve Margaritas. And I just put an M in there. Memoritas. That's all I do. Just add an M. A little bit of Cointreau, and you got a Memoritas. You track it with me? See, let me tell y'all something. One of my secrets, all this work is boring as snot, right? But I'm crazy. I look at it different, Castillo. Somehow I think you figured out how to do that lately. Look at it funny and come at it hard. You know what I mean?
Yep. Starting to track that.
Emily, pick that habit up early in your life. Terry Edwards and Tia are going partner, baby. Write this. Oh my, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Stock price of integrity is going through the roof. You need to get you a check and some stock, and then help us drive this company through the roof. I'm not kidding you. The new price is getting ready to come out. and I might have overheard a conversation. I've been known to eavesdrop. It's going to be big. Brandon Beal done put in 3 more. Patton put in 3 more. Dukes put in 2 more. Hartland put in 2 more. Seth? Who is Seth Davies? Is he for real?
Yeah, they're new directs. That's Seth and Adina Decker. They're out of Florida. They're gonna do big things. I'm really excited about them.
What part of Florida?
North of Ocala.
You know, there's some good old rednecks up that way. That's where John Thorman lives. I think. I might be mistaken. I think that's where Trevor lives. I ain't sure about all that. I'm sure about Seth, but I ain't sure about where Thorman lives. And I'm sure about the redneck thing. I met a bunch of them. I'm telling you, some hustlers up there, Bo. They get a tattoo anywhere. I'll tell you what, Bo. It's something. Mr. Compton, I think that's Jose. Patrick Connors, would you get his name changed? If that's Jose, let's get it changed to Jose. That's got to be Jose. I don't have to be. It might be William, but I think that's Jose Compton. Think about that. If your name was Jose Compton, you'd have pretty much permission to rule the world, like Jose Compton. You know, some people have them names, Castile, you know. Emily, you're going to have to fight to give you a normal, well, of course, it does see CATS whenever I say your name to Siri, which is frightening. Diane Lampy done put in 1. Way to go, Diane Lampy. Way to put them in. Hey, flip over here to this little, no, I'm going to talk it. You don't need to go to it. Handy, I got it. I got this. Mac. All right, here we go. I want to talk about ownership, and I want to talk about it to Mimi. Well, all of y'all. Davies, too. Ownership. Listen to this. Listen to this definition. Jeff Bright worked hard on this and talked to me about this. He said, Andy, this is you. Ownership is making sure that it happens. Like, make it happen. No, you got to make sure. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say Robert Van Winkle, otherwise known as Ice. Let's say Vanilla Ice shows up and say, hey, where'd my drum? Where'd my snare drum go? Anybody put that on a truck? What if one of those people said, everybody makes mistakes? That is not ownership. Somebody, oh, I better not do that. I was getting ready to pull something out of my drawer, and I said, I better not do that. But somebody needs to just cut their own throat if they showed up in Burlington, North Carolina with Ice Ice Baby and didn't bring the snare drum. Y'all tracking with me on this? Didn't bring his t-shirt that he wanted to wear. Didn't wear that hat that he wanted to wear. Ownership is making it happen and making sure it happens. It's called follow up, make a phone call a cousin, call an upline, call a downline, call somebody else that can relate to this person, Diana. Hey, somebody can relate to this person and get them to do it. You tracking with me? You say, well, I thought you had to make it happen. You make it happen, but you get some help. You call an attorney. You call the National Guard. You run when you're bleeding. You figure out a way. You tell me what you're going to do, Emily, and then you figure out a way to make it happen. Your job is not to, I like this. I take full responsibility. What? I take full responsibility for it not happening. Why are you still alive? Why didn't you go jump off a bridge or climb up to the 50th floor? You know why? Because you don't want to take responsibility. You want off the hook, just like that daggum snapper wanted. Off the hook. Same thing gonna happen to you, happen to him. You're gonna get swallowed by somebody bigger, and then somebody gonna take you out. Kind of like the little bird out of the pile of poop. The kitty took him out of the pile of poop. You understand that one, Emily? The kitty took him out of the pile of poop. He was all fired up about getting out of the pile of poop. The little birdie. You see what I'm saying? That snapper was all fired up. You got to get the job done. You got to get your wit to family reunion. You got to get your depth to family reunion. Don't come rolling in there with a toilet paper in your hand. Talking about everybody makes mistakes. I tried the best. I did all I could. Winners, owners, get it done. Okay, let's move on to the next lighthearted comment about ownership. Do you, GSD, do you get stuff done? Do you get up in the morning and start cranking it out? When you go to bed at night, are you just dead tired? You done texted, you done called, you done cursed, you done worked, WRKED, you done worked. And you feel like you got stuff done and you dream about it that night and get up next morning? Are you I spend most of my life, Emily, telling an adult, here's what I tell them. Why are you telling your kids what to do? I need for you to do what you tell your kids to do. Mimi, you know how you've been talking to your kids. You better get back in there. You better clean up your house. Right? You know how you do that, right?
Yes.
All right. It's like I'm living in your house, right?
Uh-huh.
Wash your face. Stand up. Act like you're somebody. Do your work. Go back in there and get it done. Don't even come out until you finish. If I could get adults to do what they say to their children, we'd do $1 billion company. That's pretty much why we're almost $1 billion. I got a few adults. Look at him. There go Hutch. Who you got there, Hutch?
This is Kennedy Noel, Christmas Day, baby.
Hey, Kennedy Noel. You beautiful.
Thank you.
You get stuff done. All right. Here's what people say. People do what they want to do. I can't make them. I had a female, Castile, say that about her live-in. She said, he's going to do what he's going to do. You know, Andy, you can't change people. They can only change themselves.
You can put them out.
Huh?
Sorry, I said you can put them out.
See, I couldn't say that. I wanted to say that. But here's what I said. If there's no consequences, then people going to do what people want to do. Maybe you need to explain.
That's much nicer.
You need to explain it to them what the consequences is. If there's no consequences, no change. So I'm going to explain something to this executive I know very shortly, and I'm going to explain to him the consequences. And we're going to see if he changes or not. Or the consequences are going to hit the proverbial fan. CBS. You see what I'm saying? Albright going to explain I'm going to get this stuff done. Or the consequences going to come raining down like hell. I'll be smiling the whole time I'm saying it too. See, here's what I want to say. Somebody says, well, people going to do what they going to do. Do you deserve better? Do you deserve a better outcome? People going to do what they going to do. Do you deserve a better outcome? How creative is that for a combat? Do you deserve a better outcome than them doing whatever they want to do? Well, let me tell you how to do. Come up with a C word. Let your imagination run wild. It's called consequence. There's consequences, baby. Somebody going to pay. Or the stuff going to hit the fan. People going to, my downline is going to do what my downline is going to do. Do you deserve a better outcome? The client is going to do what the client is going to do, Emily. And if they choose not to write a check, it's just, that's what they're going to do. You deserve a better outcome? It's not my fault that they're idiots. What would a better outcome look like? It's not my fault they don't have money. It's not my fault I was in the client's house, they didn't have money. What would a better outcome look like? What would it look like? Just saying. What would a better outcome look like? How about if you went to 2 more houses and found somebody with a check and got your annuity and daggum paycheck? How about that for now? But I'm just thinking, what would a better outcome look like as opposed to sitting there and making an excuse and hitting me with, I'll take full responsibility. You don't take full responsibility unless you go ahead and cut yourself. Unless you go ahead and punch, you come walking in with 2 black eyes and say, look what I did to myself because I failed. I'll be like, that's taking responsibility right there. Let me do one more just to make sure you're taking full responsibility. Don't hit me. I take full responsibility. Shoot. Got to keep us PG because everybody's talking about my kids watching it and they say dad gum. I don't mind them saying dead gum. I don't mind them saying shoot. Okay. All right, let's do what's next. How about this one? I'm doing the best I can on what God gave me. What would it look like if it was different? I'm doing best I can based on what God gave me to work with. Well, what would it look like if God gave you something different? How would that look? How would that play out? Ain't it funny how every answer has something to do with what do you think you want it to look like? And I'm telling you, I have been through some mud and some dirt and some fight. You can't win every single one of them, but you can fight every single one of them. Diana, you know I ain't kidding.
Oh, I know. It's all in how you want to fight it. You gotta be a fighter, and it's how you gonna fight that fight on what your outcome gonna be, and if you gonna put up or shut up.
Mimi.
Yes, Andy.
Guy I was talking to this morning. He said he was feeling so bad, he tried to prove to his wife how bad he was feeling. He got up in the middle of the night, he kept telling her how sick he was. So he got a thermometer and put it in his mouth, and he kept trying to read it. He couldn't see it eventually because he wanted to show his wife how sick he was. So eventually, she got up. He said, read it for me. And she started looking at it, and looking at him, and looking at him, looking at him. She started laughing. She said, what is it? He said, you got the child's rectal thermometer.
Oh, man, it was real sick after that.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's funny.
He should have been sick if he wasn't in.
Yeah.
He's a preacher named Goff, Goff, big time preacher. He said, everybody makes mistakes. What you going to do next? He said, he spit it out and kept going.
Ew.
You can't win them all, but you can fight them all. Everybody is going to make stupid mistakes and problems. If my biggest secret in the world, Emily, and I'm going to tell you this, Emily, my boldness, I could have been bolder when I was your age, and my ability to forget my stupidity if I stepped over the line in boldness and say like, yeah, that's, hey. Spit it out. Get up, start ripping heads off. All right. I'm just doing what I was told to do. What would a better outcome look like? Let me give you an example. This guy has a downline. This downline is not too smart. Can't figure out how to get a business going, okay? Not hard. This guy don't know how to work. Don't get me wrong. He could dig a ditch. He could cut a tree down. But he can't listen to what other people are saying yet. So what would a better outcome look like, Andy? Well, this guy hired a guy who hired a guy who hired a guy. This guy right here, we're starting to get it going, right? So we're doing the talking. We found out talking to this guy, Mimi, The reason he does not write any business besides Foresters is because he's not appointed by any company besides Foresters. So we skipped this feller and asked this feller and say, why are you not appointed with any other carriers? He said, I don't know. I don't know how to do it. And it's the only one they did for me. And he said, well, Andy, it's not our job to wipe everybody's rear end. It is when they're babies. And this guy's not a baby. This one's not a baby. This one's a baby. So we explained to him, we got him on the phone with somebody, did the punch this, type here, put your name there, submit, got him appointed with 5 other carriers in about 35 or 45 minutes. That's called WORK. But if we hadn't been on the phone dealing with this ding dong, he's not a ding dong, he just didn't know, right? He's a baby. If he didn't know, and we didn't have that conversation, he'd not be appointed with 5, 6 carriers now. And he wrote twice as much business this week than he's done in the last 5 weeks since he started. It's called work. What was that analogy, Dave, as you was telling me about work and simple things, the little things?
It's like a restaurant. You got to fill the salt shakers, you got to fill the ketchup bottles, or you end up looking like you don't know what you're doing. And that's the little things we've got to do. Ask those questions. It's those basics are. It's crazy how vital they are, and it's crazy how simple they are.
But if you don't know, that's what he told me. Was you on an activity call? I try to, but sometimes I like to watch it later. Really, sometimes I bet you don't watch it at all because you don't know what to do. I've noticed you don't know what to do. What do you mean I know what to do? You got a tiny business. You got a pea-sized business. Your business is not growing. Oh, it's growing. Keep looking through them rose-colored glasses. Albright knows how to look at wit. Albright knows how to look at depth. Albright knows how to judge a business. Let me give you another one. You think of another analogy, Davies. Another way to say it better, more politically correct than me. So I call this guy, Castile, this guy trying to get this guy to go to the meeting, to the family reunion. I says, do you have anybody under him going? No. Is he excited? Out of his mind. All right. So I asked him. I asked this guy to ask this guy. I said, ask him of all the, he says he's going to recruit. Ask him who his number 1 person. He said, Tim. What's your number 2 person? Tina. Well, first call Tim, then call Tina. He said, well, they live together. I said, Tim and Tina is one people. That's a couple. Who's your next? See, I had to explain it to him in this business. The couple, we got to get them both there. That only counts as one leg. I had to explain it to him. It's called work. Then the next person was Steve, that he said he might get there. I said, do you mind if we call Tim and Tina? Call them up. You know what? I invited Tim and Tina to family reunion. You know what the guy said? He said, can they come to the meeting? Family reunion, they're not even got through class yet. He said, Andy, he should know that. He don't know what he don't know. It's called work. You're not talking to your people. You're not asking questions. You're not GSD. You're not getting stuff done. What you're doing is you're hoping and praying and wishing and wanting. Hoping, wishing, praying. And I'm all about prayer. A lot of times prayer is connected to the end of your daggum elbows and your hands and your feet and your mouth and this thing right here. A lot of times when you pray, does God ever say, pick up your phone, fool? Oh, God will say it differently. But that'd be funny if somebody heard, pick up your phone, fool. Call somebody, you ding-dong head. I was fasting, and a voice came to me, and it said, get your butt on the phone more. And I thought to myself, I'm going to get something to eat. If this is the kind of voices I'm going to be hearing while I'm fasting, I'm going to eat a pizza. Help them, Davies. Help them understand. It's the little things, calling them up, asking questions.
like I was talking with the guy one time, and there was similar issues, and he said, "Well, I talk to my people all the time, but it's, what are we talking about? You know, it's like when I'm talking with Chandler, I've got things I know I'm trying to get done with him because I've got to have him. I mean, he's becoming a man. I've got to get him prepared. So I got to know what I'm working towards. We don't just chit chat, you know. And that's what he was doing, just chit chatting. But there was little things like that. It's hammering those details out. I mean, this ownership, you know, if you own a business, the details matter. You're going to do the details. The owner of the restaurant can't go, well, I guess they didn't know to sweep the floors before they left today. Details. There's so much money in the details.
Castile, Bell Kraus wants to talk to you. He likes your attitude. Chris Hill, Bell Kraus suggests we put CVS, make sure it's in the ATM, very prominent. I like both of those connections. You see Bell's leaning in and she's thinking. That's the little thing. There's another little thing. John Thorman says, I am exactly right about Ocala, baby. Good old redneck. Your boy's got a shot. What was his name?
Seth and Adina Decker.
Seth and Adina Decker. There's another good name combination too. Adina Decker. Okay. Little things. Roy Bean reminded me of my French, Spanish, and Creole combination when you caught that fish, Davies. That's exactly how it goes. It is actually listed in the Urban Dictionary now. That's what I said when he was catching that fish. I was like, and we captured it on video and we got it in the Urban Dictionary. It means an alliance term for joy in its purest form, such as no word in the English lexicon could actually describe it.
You know you made it when you get certified to make up your own words.
I got to write the definition to a word. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the things we get to do in this business.
Hey, look, ownership. Take ownership, Emily. Sometimes there's a thing called clarity. It's old verbiage I read. Clarity is a risk of embarrassment. If you're clear, I was on a jet with the president of our North Carolina State Brewster Club, and also, anyway, he said, Albright can speak plain sometime. You know, I said to myself, I have the ability to communicate. What you have is ability to say a lot of words that I ain't sure exactly what you meant. But when I get through talking, you seem to have a good idea of what I meant. You may not like it, and it might result in embarrassment, but one thing we are is clear. When I explain the consequences to this executive of what's going to happen, I am going to be painfully clear. And there might be some embarrassment involved. But I don't want to walk away and him going like, I think Albright could possibly be upset and might be happy with this. Like, no, I won't even say it. Are we prepared for the consequences? I got to get that stuff done. And if I can't get this done, Emily, I'm going to get this done. This is the consequences. This is what I'm trying to get done. If I don't get this done, this is what I'm going to get done. So if you're in the house, you're going to get on a check. Oh, there's going to be consequences to pay. If you don't talk to them about the business, Castile, when you're in there and you forget to do it, there's consequences to pay. You need to make sure painfully clear they know that you are hiring people and you need somebody. And if they want their insurance to continue and they want it to pay when something happens, they're going to have to give you some referral of some people that might possibly join this business because you were tight with the insurance company. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get them stirred up. You got to connect emotionally where they go. And then you go like, I just kidding, you know. Because we don't want embarrassment. Does this make sense, Mimi?
Totally makes sense, Andy.
Mimi,
Yes.
talk some junk to me. Tell me what you're going to do. Just make me feel good about the future and Mimi Romero.
Well, it's looking great. What am I going to do? Right now, on Monday, I have a new admin starting out. She's gonna be almost full time. And then I am hiring. I already put an ad for a recruiter. So July, I will have almost 2 full-time staff. So that way I can free myself because my mind is ready, and you know it, Andy. I am fired up, get rid of a lot of junk that I have in my life, but now I'm ready to go crazy and go partner. That's my goal. You talk about 2 years. I was talking to Steven the other day. I said, Steven, squash the however many years I've been here. This is my first year. I am starting fresh. Fresh.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
All right, Emily. Now I'm going to go to work on it. You ready? Here we go. Pay attention to what I'm going to do. Mimi, that's good. If you're going to hire a staff, you know, one thing I heard this guy said, he said, you know what? I hate to spend so much money on my staff and get them trained up and then they quit. I said, I got another idea. How'd you like to keep your staff and they're not trained? How'd you like to pay them for the next 10 years and they never got trained? How'd you like to do that? Well, I don't want to do that either. Well, then you're going to have to risk training them and then leaving. So I highly recommend that you work a little bit later, a little bit earlier, a little bit smarter, get another referral, get an annuity, and pay for them 2 people to fly out to the family reunion and invest in them to get trained and inspired. Well, what if I fly them out there and they don't even quit? I don't know what to tell you. You want them to stay and not be good? You want them to stay and not be trained? You see what I'm saying? You see how I'm working there, Emily? See how I'm selling? I want her to be successful, but if she don't get successful, I pay the price and my friend Mimi pays the price. And I don't want my friend, now I'm on a moral high horse. I don't want my friend to fail. See how I'm on my moral high horse, Emily? That allows me to talk clear to her because I'm on my high horse over here. I love Mimi. I want Mimi to make it. On the other hand, I got to get stuff done. I got to get her successful. So she's got to invest in her people, which means sacrifice and money to get them to family reunion. She will, I don't know if I got the money.
Go sell more. That's what Steven always does.
You do. That's what Steven says. That's one more. It's only one more application. It's only one more application.
Are you on my call? I'm working right here in your downline. They send me pictures of the Wolfpack saying I need one more win. My question for him is, are you on my call? And I sent him a picture of all y'all. And if he don't respond, I was on that call. Here's what I say to him. He's halfway doing it. I almost said another bad word. It's right out of the Bible. But
no lies told.
Huh?
No lies told. You ain't wrong.
You don't know me like that.
But where's the lie?
You don't know me like that.
Oh, he about to.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Ownership, baby. Who's taking ownership? Listen, you want to take ownership and own stock in this company that's skyrocketing? Everybody asks me lately, can we buy the stock? No. The only way you can buy it is trade in your EBITDA. All you way to do is trade in your business and get a massive amount of stock, and then you own stock and got a check. If you want to do that, you got to get cray-cray. You got to make stuff happen and don't whine about it. Let me tell you why it ain't working. Can I explain it to you why it ain't working? And it's mainly Andy's fault. And I'll tell you another thing, is that comes Stephen Davies' fault. You ever had people cross line for you, Davies, blame you? It's one thing when your downline blames you, but when they ain't even in your damn downline. Wait until they blame you, Emily. And let me tell you what Emily told me. I was up there in the office in Treasure Island. Let me tell you what Emily told me. I said, why was you listening to Emily? 19 years old. Well, it's just Adam Cass is her daddy, and I just figured, yeah, liars figure. but figures don't lie. Write that one down, Emily. Liars figure, but figures don't lie. You know what that means, Emily?
No, can you explain that one?
Come on, Emily. Think it through. Liars figure, but figures don't lie.
Oh, numbers don't lie. Got it.
You didn't put the numbers up. You was figuring. You didn't give me the figures because you was figuring. Liars figure, but figures don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Losers hate that kind of talk right there, but you talk about pissing them off. Well, I know what you're saying, but let me explain it to you from this angle. You just can't see it like I see it. Hell no, I can't see it like you see it because I'm a figure putter upper. I'm not a figurer. I'm a figure putter upper. I put up the dadgum numbers. God bless America. God is country and all y'all, my friends. I like its ownership talk. This one's go down in the history. Probably 2 people quit and 2 people stepped up the pace today. Hey guys, seriously. Happy Friday. Happy almost the end of the first month. We got 1 more month to go to get people to the family reunion. The amount of people you get, the number of cheeks, 1 butt, 2 butt, the number of cheeks you can get in a seat will determine your future. WWE, baby. If you can't talk the talk, you can't walk the walk. If you can't put the seats in the cheeks in the seat, if you can't get them there, baby, if you can't get them there, I don't know what to tell you. I guess we'll go to figuring. He said he was watching. All right. Okay. Chris Hill would like to point out that Narashima Kaskawanka, or we call him MP, hired Swati. So Swati's in debt. He want to make sure I know he's working. I like that, Chris. I like that. Castillo, I like you. Mimi, pulling for you. Emily, lights them up. Davies, width and depth, baby. Hey, Davies gonna make over $1 million this year. Look like he might make $1.3 million. Could do $1.5 million. That's a figure right there. That's not a figure. That's a figure with commas in it. Hey, I got something to say. Congratulations, Holly Davies. All right, I gotta go. Love y'all. Bye.